I've been asked this a few times, not just in this video that I was tagged in, but also just in other videos that I've posted. So let's go through some pregnancy photos. Okay, starting off strong with the very first day that I was ever pregnant. I know that for a fact because we had to do IVF at a very young age. So this was the day that I was pupo, which is pregnant until proven otherwise. We were babies. We were 22. Jake's got long hair under that hat. That day we put in 2 embryos. We ended up getting pregnant with Sawyer. These 2 embryos right here are actually the ones that were implanted. So Sawyer is one of those guys. And then this one is probably Dallas or Eli. These are the other embryos that we had left after that round of IVF. One of them is Eli, somewhere in there, and then sadly the other ones didn't make it. We ended up with Sawyer and the twins. Weston was like our big surprise that no one said could ever happen. This was 7 weeks pregnant with Sawyer. I actually did like a chalkboard bump picture every single week, all inspired by Jessica Garvin, and she had the most iconic ones. I thought I was like so cool with this bump right here. I was like, I am bumping it. My bump pretty much stayed that same size until I was like 27 weeks pregnant. This is me at my baby shower with my sister Isla. I want to say it was like 32-ish weeks here. I absolutely loved this dress. I thought it was the cutest thing ever. Shortly after that, at like 34 weeks, I went into preterm labor, so I didn't really leave my house after that until I gave birth. But we did do an in-home maternity shoot, and this was like my favorite shot from the entire shoot. I just loved it. This one was also a fave because like so cute. And then this was the last pic before I went into labor with Sawyer, and I was 38 weeks pregnant. I also had extensions this whole pregnancy. My hair fell out in pregnancy and because of the IVF drugs. Thing you'll see in the next pregnancy, I felt so ugly because I didn't have extensions and therefore I didn't take a lot of pictures because I felt like a naked mole rat with my thin scraggly hair. Like literally with Weston, I think I have like 9 photos to choose from, and this is one of them. This is like the smallest I was, 12 weeks. This is at like 19 weeks pregnant. Again, I just felt really bloated and not like the cute little bump that everyone gets, and then my hair was falling out. It was not a good time for me mentally. This is Thanksgiving. I finally like popped a little bit. I gave birth to him on January 30th, so like, because I don't know how many weeks I was, but I'm pretty sure I was in like the 20s here. I finally was like starting to feel cute. This was for a Christmas party. The cute little bump, although I was absolutely miserable here. I believe I had already gone into like preterm labor once, and so I was on like modified bed rest where I could just go and sit places. There are so many people that just like love pregnancy, feel like the fullness of womanhood, they feel amazing. That was not me. Audrey, stop laughing. That was not me, and it's okay. The biggest blessings came from my pregnancy, which is my kids, and I would do it 100 times over to have them, but like I was hating life here. I was miserable and I was in a lot of pain. I remember also feeling really guilty though, because we had struggled with infertility, and I would roll my eyes so hard at women who were pregnant and like complaining about their pregnancy, because I would have given anything, like I would have given anything to get pregnant at that time. But then once I was like here for the first time and then the second time, like I understood how painful and difficult it can be. So, you know, it's all about perspective. I think this was like part of the time when we were like really financially struggling. So we just could not afford to do a maternity shoot for his pregnancy. And I want to say I was like 36 weeks here. He came just a few weeks later, and this was like one of the last bump photos that I took. Okay, I lied. This is actually the last bump pic that I took with Weston. I did a comparison of the 3. I want to say it was like 38 over there with Sawyer. It was probably like 39 here with Weston because I gave birth to him at 39.5. Or this is probably like 30 with the twins because I gave birth to them at 31.5. Here we are. We're pupo again. This is the first day that I'm pregnant with the twins again. We put in 3 embryos because we had 3 left. We knew there was like a very small chance that we'd have triplets. I prayed for each one of their little lives, and I would have been thrilled to find out that we were having triplets, but I also knew the complications that it would be. So I kind of just left it up in God's hands, and whatever he gave us is what we would be thankful to have. And he gave us the twins. This is like 12 weeks with the twins. I popped earlier. Thank God, like the bloated stage did not last that long. I was actually really nervous that night because I had been on modified bed rest. I had like massive amounts of bleeding, and I basically thought I was losing them every single day. So that was not fun. This is another picture of me feeling highly insecure because my hair was like all falling out. I could feel it thinning at this point. And I was trying to like go really far in between appointments to let my hair grow. That's at the last week of January, and I gave birth to them in May. So I don't know how many weeks I was, but if you want to do the math, you can. It's 23 weeks here because it says 23 weeks. I only had like 8 weeks left at that point. And and I did not know it at that point. There were no photos until like right before I gave birth because I was immediately put on rest, like officially, for a shortened cervix and contractions. But this is me, I want to say at 30 weeks. Remember barely getting these photos back, like either right around the time they gave birth or right before. My friend Tylene took these and I absolutely love them. So this is the last one that I'll share of my bump with the twins because I don't have any after this until I gave birth. I just thought this was really pretty. Again, I thought this dress was like the chicest thing ever. I loved it because it touched the floor and I'm very tall. That was like me looking up at Jesus saying, thank you for my babies and keep them safe and healthy. And he did.